Hello plant community, thanks for tuning into this channel. My name is Pam and today you guys, we're hitting towards the end of July. You know what I do at the end of the month is I share with you guys at least 5 of my favorite plants that I'm loving on at the end of the month. So let's just jump right into it. Okay, so you guys, in no particular order, let's just start. I have 5 plants that I'm really admiring for the month of July, and I'm super excited to share that with you. So let's go. So my first one is my Peperomia. This is the lime variegated version. I have a regular green obtusifolia one, but I've recently acquired this. I've probably had this plant for a couple of months now, and it's hanging in here in my sunroom, and it's not giving me any issues. Look at that, you guys. It's so beautiful, and I couldn't believe it. Did I get this from? Yeah, or no? I can't even remember where. Is this the plant farm? I believe I did get this from the plant farm, you guys. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember offhand, but I got it because I just love that strikingly beautiful variegation that's on the leaves. Super easy to grow, super easy to care for, no issues, no problems. And I really like the dwarf way that it is, the bushy, small, compact look to it. Very beautiful and stunning. I guess a common plant. I just never seen this plant in a big box store with this kind of variegation. So stunningly beautiful. My next one, you guys, is one that I've had for a little while. I haven't had this plant for a year, but it's doing good under my care. I'm happy for it. And let me just show y'all my Calathea. This thing is heavy. Orbifolia, you guys. You guys, this plant is amazing. And I am just loving how full it is. And it has been doing very well under my care. And of course it does get some brown tips, as Calathea are known for, and for the most part I just try to maintain the maintenance on that, but it's so packed and full, and I can actually see flukes, you guys, of new growth shooting up in the center of this plant. So it's very beautiful. I have it in a self-watering pot. Completely a game changer for me. I got these pots, if any of y'all are interested. It was actually, you know, you can find almost anything, like I said, on Amazon, but if you put self-watering planters, I believe this one will come up. I'm really loving the pot, very convenient. Check out the root system. I love the fact that it's growing through and you can actually see. So this plant is completely happy. Not only is it a happy, healthy top and full and lush, but you know from the roots that you can see that this plant is actually also healthy as well. But I really love it. And I just have it sitting on the floor. I put it inside this planter right here, or cover pot. Nice, right? Well, at least I think it is. And I have it sitting here literally on the floor, and it's getting morning direct light from time to time, but the majority of the light is very medium light in here from the position of the plant, and it's also getting some artificial lighting from my fancy light that's right here, but because it's on the floor, I think it's just doing well, as they're known to be. You know, they're on the forest floor, so try to mimic the environment that it's used to, and so far that plant has just been responding well, and I'm just loving it. Another plant, you guys, that I have not had in my collection, but I am equally just falling in love with it. And I'm assuming this plant, you guys, would be considered a common plant. I guess it's just that I happen to find this in a big box store, and I've never seen one actually in a big box store. And this is my Asparagus Fern. Guys, I first saw it on another YouTuber channel as them having it part of their plant collection, and I instantly fell in love with it because I do love that it gives me, this plant definitely gives me that whimsical vibe, that dainty, I don't know, feel to it. And the leaves are so like soft and baby soft, and it's just so delicate looking. I just think it's very unique in its style. Now, ferns, even though it's not technically a fern, that's the name that it is given. I try my best to stay away from ferns because I really need to get more information on it, because I know that they are definitely not easy care, and I don't want to set myself up for disaster. So, I kind of try to, I don't know, be mindful of that. But I saw this either, I think at Lowe's, and it was the only one that they had left, and it was extremely healthy looking. And I said, you know what? And it was a reasonable price. I think it was under 15 bucks. And I said, okay, why not give it a go? And you guys, I just brought it in here, have it sitting on my table over there underneath my grow light, and it's getting ample light. And so far, so good. I do know that this plant particularly does not like to dry out. So my mindset with this plant is to treat it the same way as I do my Calatheas. I do water this plant when the first inch of the soil is starting to become dry, and that theory has been working so far. And I hope that I'll be able to actually maintain this plant when we get out of the growing season. I think that's where it's going to get really maybe slightly challenging for me. I'm not sure, but we'll see. But you guys, look at it. It's just so gorgeous. And since I've had it in my care, this whole leaf came out, and I also have new growth right here, as well as new growth right there. And you can pretty much tell the new growth because you'll see that the leaves are slightly lighter than the other leaves. And another beautiful part that I like about this plant, that I was looking at it the other day, and it's like, if you look at it, each section, I don't know, each leaf or whatever they call it, is like designed and reminds me of a Christmas tree, and then actually turns into the whole leaf itself reminds me of a tree. So I think it's very beautiful, and they paired it well in this pot. I think very, very gorgeous plant. I'm so glad I actually decided to get it. Now my next plant, you guys, I am loving the growth of this plant. I believe I showed this plant to you guys a little while back in an unboxing. This had to be a few months. I really don't know how long I've had this plant. It's been not that long as well, but since I brought it into my home, and this is one of the plants that I actually don't have growing in my sunroom. It's actually growing inside my house, and it's been growing nonstop. And that plant is my Philodendron Glad Hands. You guys, I am in love. I am absolutely in love with this plant. I love the pointy structure. This is one of the newest leaves, by the way. It hasn't even hardened off yet. And this is also a new leaf that's still soft. This one hasn't hardened off yet. And this baby leaf is also a new leaf. It hasn't hardened off yet. I'm imagining that it will get a little bit larger before it starts hardening off, because that's what they do. I've noticed the characteristics of this plant is it'll come out a little bit smaller, and as it starts to harden off, it gets bigger and bigger like this one. So, but you guys, I mean, you can't tell me you are getting at least vacation vibes with this plant right here. This baby right here, I'm serious. I'm straight thinking of margarita drinking under the sun by the cool pool, dipping my toes in the sand type of vibes, and the wind is swaying. That's what I get from this plant. And I also love it so much. Very easy care. So far, Did I change the soil? I think I think I did change the planting medium though of the soil. I wanted it to be a little bit more airy. So I put orchid bark and I have some pumice and I think perlite in here, but you guys, it's been loving life. And I literally just have it sitting in my dining room on a table, and it's getting very lowish to medium light from the window that's in my dining room, because it's not getting that much of a bright light through that window because I have a tree right there, and my neighbor's also on the other side. So it blocks out the majority of the light. So I would say that the most light that this plant has been receiving has been probably from my Sansi grow light, and that's subtle lighting as well, but it doesn't seem to phase this plant, you guys. I mean, it's just growing so wild. You know, I'm not going to put it up on a trellis or anything. If anything, I'll probably just stake it up, maybe get one of them long like plants like these. I try to changing up my mindset a little bit. Plants like these, I'll get maybe like the green bamboo stakes, so that way when you put it in, my theory is when you put it in, it kind of camouflages with all the green, and you really don't see, especially with leaves like this, it'll, you know, kind of like take away from that green stick, or it'll blend right in and you won't even notice. But comment below, you guys, let me know if you have this plant and how well it's doing in your care. I'm so glad I got it. Super, super excited. Now my fifth and final plant for July, you guys, is a plant that I have had for several months. I'm super excited about this plant because of what it can become. So some of the plants, you guys, I buy, you know, of course, you know, you may get a smaller specimen, but the fun for me is actually being able to grow it, and then I can visualize how this plant could become, or in any of my plants, you know. And that's our goal, right, as plant parents, is we want to see our plant babies thrive and see and let it grow to its fullest potential, actually, right? So this is a Dracaena, and it's my Song of India, and I think it pairs well with this planter. But you guys, I'm really loving this plant, and I am praying and hoping that I will be able to keep it alive, because I really would love for this to grow up to be like a tree-like structure. The color is very unique. It has been growing very subtly for me in here. It has not been a fast grower as of yet, but I do know that plants can take time. But you can tell the new growth because the leaves are darker when they come in, and then they'll lighten up as far as the variegation. So it's new growth right here, and I do believe new growth right here. You see the difference between this leaf and this leaf? They come out dark, but then they'll lighten up and the variegation will start coming through. And like I said, I have 3 plants in this pot, you guys. Right now it's looking stunningly beautiful. I can't wait for the stalks to actually start growing and I get that tree. This will definitely be a statement piece, and I see it growing so nicely in here. And I have it actually sitting below a window that is not really being obstructed by any trees or anything like that. So it is definitely getting ample amounts of light. Now, one thing I've noticed, and at first, I'm not sure, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I have noticed like little, do y'all know if this plant produces any type of floral nectaries of any kind? Comment below if it does. I don't know if it's coming from this plant or the fact that I have it kind of like on the floor a little bit, that something else is dripping on it. But from time to time, I'm noticing like little, let's see if I can, like little black, not black, but be like brown, magically, of course it's not on here now for me to show you guys, you know. It's just all up in my head. No, okay. I don't even know if y'all can see that. These little brown spots, believe it or not, I can take something and wipe it off, but they are, it's like a sticky substance, almost like syrup substance type of thing. And I've noticed from time to time, not that often, but every so often when I do take a look at this plant, I'll find that on the top of the leaves, but nothing on the bottom per se. And I usually just wipe it off. So I'm wondering if it's dripping from something. I really, honestly, I don't know. But you guys, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So that pretty much shares my top 5 plants for you that I'm really loving for the month of July. Y'all comment below. Let me know if y'all have any of these plants. And I am actually surprised, you guys. I made it through this presentation and I did not show a Hoya. I know that has been my trend for the past few months. And I don't know. Still love my Hoyas. Don't get me wrong. But these plants really are just turning me on right now. Maybe all 5 of us should just, 6 myself, we should just get a room, right? I don't know. I'm joking, you guys, but this pretty much wraps up this video. Keep in mind, you guys, if you love foliage as much as I do and you love listening to planty things, subscribe to this channel, like and share. Push those thumbs up, please. That helps get my channel out there. Comment if you like. I love talking to you guys, and y'all enjoy your day wherever you are in the world. And until next time, guys, much love. Bye.